You started a YouTube channel and you have no idea what direction you want to go in and what you're going to talk about. And the question that you're probably asking yourself is, should you pick a particular niche when it comes to your YouTube videos? Well, that is a great question. And ultimately, the decision is solely up to you. However, I have benefited from niching down, and maybe you can too. Now, when somebody says to niche down, they are referring to a particular group of videos, a particular type of content. And that would be if you are in the vlogging content. There's really nothing to not talk about if you're vlogging. If you try to do a movie review on a vlogging channel and then you try to do several, it may or may not work for you. But if you do a particular thing and it's working for your channel, then maybe you should do more of that. Now, could that point you and paint you into a niche? It very well could. And that's a decision that you will have to make. But I encourage everybody consider what they want to talk about before they actually start making videos. Sit down and make a plan. Have some thought as to when you name your channel and you want to start making videos, what type of videos do I want to make? Now, in some cases, you can talk about everything and hit the jackpot. But from my experience, I have seen that niching down works for me. I have several different examples that I'm going to show you today about how niching down can help and hurt a channel depending on what you are talking about exactly. So the first thing I want to tell you is that the biggest YouTuber in the world, everyone knows him as Jimmy Donaldson, aka MrBeast. I'm going to show you that he actually believes in niching down. He has several different channels. Some of them are inactive, but he has MrBeast, Beast Philanthropy, MrBeast Gaming, Beast Reacts, and MrBeast 2. He also has some other inactive channels, but he decided that he was going to put his content on the same platform, but different channels. And he probably found this out through experimentation. And that's what I would suggest all of you to do, because you have to kind of find your way on your own. Consider me like the bumpers in the bowling alley. I'm trying to keep you out the gutter of you walking away from YouTube and not making a video. I'm trying to get you to hit at least one pin. So consider me as your YouTube gutters, the bumpers to the gutters, not the gutters. I'm trying to keep you out the gutters. But if the biggest YouTuber in the world has already niched down, then maybe that's a sign that you might want to do that as well. So if we pivot over to the type of content that I make, I'm going to show you. We're going to go to my dashboard of this channel here, Syndicate Video Media. We're going to look at the analytics and we're going to go and look at our audience. Now, I have made videos about this, the importance of returning viewers versus new viewers. Now, what is a returning viewer? If we look at and we find out what a returning viewer is right here, we're going to hover over this. A returning viewer, and I went over this before, but we'll do it again. A returning viewer is a viewer who already watched your channel previously and returned to watch in the selected period. Now, what this does not tell you if that person, that viewer, is a subscriber or non-subscriber. Now, it's very possible that some of them are and some of them not. We don't know what the split is. A new viewer is a viewer who discovered your channel for the first time in the selected period. That means that on Monday, April 14th, 233 people had never, ever once clicked on my channel. Now, they could have seen a thumbnail, they could have seen the channel before, but they never engaged with the channel until that moment, and they decided to join. Now, if you scroll down here, YouTube will give you a general idea of what your audience likes to see. And that's why I don't think this particular channel at this particular moment is painted into a category that I can't recover from. Now, that has yet to be seen, but we're going to experiment with when that time comes. It's not enough data to even show YouTube what my audience watches. We can tell what's growing my audience. And if we scroll down here, we can even see the number of people subscribed to the channel. So out of all the people that watch, whether they're returning viewers, new viewers, or what, we have 45.6% subscribe, and then 54.4 people unsubscribe, or not subscribe. So that was a bigger number, but people have been subscribing. And if we look and see what my growth has been over the past couple of days, in the past 28 days, we've grown 296 subscribers. And if we narrow that down to even the last 7 days, then we've grown 74, which is 40% more than the previous week. So Whether you niche down or not is all up to you. It really is. But you have to determine whether you want to do that or not. Now, I know that might get boring. I know it might get redundant. It might get repetitive, but it's kind of the way that I've seen, even now, how YouTube works. It worked for me in the past, and it's working for me now as well. You have to be able to offer something, whether it's part of your personality, education, entertainment. You have to be able to offer something in order to really benefit from this. Now, I'm going to show you a couple examples of the good and the bad of niching down. All right. So this channel here is the bad version of what niching down can do, depending on what kind of audience that you have. So I'm going to show you here. And this is why I preach what I preach, and it's solely based off kind of what I've seen on the outside of bigger creators, but also what I've mainly seen from my channel. Now, this is my very first channel called the Gridiron Blitz. And I started, this was my initial channel that I was making comments on and commenting on other people. And then in 2010, I think I started making content. But what happened was, as you can see from this graph here, over the last 28 days, the teal bar, the teal graph is ahead of the purple graph, because from my experience, returning viewers are the lifeblood of your channel. The more they watch, whether they're subscribed or not, it helps your channel because it tells YouTube that people like to watch you consistently, whether they're subscribed or not. But you can see here, I've lost 25 subscribers over the last 28 days. But what kind of niche is this? This is a live streaming niche. Now, I don't think there's enough content. I haven't made any content for YouTube to have actually gives me an idea of what my channel watches, but I've been doing this for years. And I once had this graph field. This channel became a streaming channel. So what I would do is I would stream NFL game watch parties. So I would be watching the game, let's say Monday Night Football. I would watch Monday Night Football on my television, and the person on the other side of the screen would watch Monday Night Football on their television, and we would interact in the chat. I didn't make any videos during this time, and this is why people subscribe to my channel. They subscribe for live streams and what I was doing. But if I would make a video, then nobody would watch. Those same people would not return to watch a video, but they would watch my live streams. And that's why there's a graph down here that actually gives you a lot. It's actually not here, I don't think, because I haven't made any content, but it tells you right here where people are watching, and it tells you, do they watch your videos? Do they watch your lives? And the things like that. So let me show you a good version of that. This is my other channel, Lions Syndicate. Okay. Now this is all for research purposes. I'm actually not a fan of people subscribing to a different channel if you're not interested in that. But I know that you guys may not be, so I would not tell my Lions Syndicate people to come over here, and I would not tell you to go. The only way I would tell you to go over there is if you are strictly a Detroit Lions fan. That's all. So if we look here and we look at the last 28 days, now there's not a lot of stuff going on. There's not a lot of stuff going on with the NFL. It's April. The NFL draft is coming very soon, so things will pick back up. I've been doing this in this niche for a very long time. This is how that channel that I just showed you directed me. This is how I decided to start a channel that I was niching down, because my audience told me that would work for me. So I just simply looked at the numbers and made a decision off that. Now, again, I go through this every single season. When there's nothing to talk about in the NFL, it dies down. But if we were to, let me show you what it looks like during the NFL season. I'm going to go and customize my graph real quick. We're going to say that the NFL season, let's say the NFL season started, I think it was the 12th, but I think it might have been September 5th. And the Lions last played their last game we'll do through the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was February 9th. We're going to hit apply. And now I'm going to show you what it looked like after that. So you can see from this graph, as soon as this goes away, there we go. I was able to net 7,300 subscribers. And you can see that the teal is well below the purple. And this is in that time frame. And if we go back to even when the season started, it was low, because it happens like this every single season. The middle of the season, the first month of NFL football is not that great because the starters don't play during the preseason. It's complicated, and I don't want to bore you. But you can see when the middle of October is when everything started to shoot up, because that's when football gets good for an NFL fan. So but I wanted to show you something else as well as we go to the breakdown, and we're just going to go and reset this here so we can do the current outlook on what's going on here. So we're going to go and we're going to say the last 28 days, and I'm going to show you a little something different. Now, here is why I think niching down is important. You can see here, channels your audience watches. What do you see here? It's mostly Detroit Lions content. You've got these guys here. They pretty much all talk about Detroit. You've got the second page. They pretty much all talk about Detroit. You got the third page. You got one Detroit Pistons, and then this guy here, he plays for the Detroit Lions. And Formula One News, this is the only channel that you see out of the 15 listed that doesn't necessarily focus on Detroit Lions or anything Detroit. You've also got the Detroit Pistons, right? So let's just say out of 15 channels that were in this group, 2 of them were not specifically about the Detroit Lions. And why does that help as well? It helps also because when you are making content that people consume, your content can get recommended by another person's channel that consumes that type of content, okay? Now, there is a way, if we go back to this channel here, I am under the belief, just solely based on my experience, that if you can have the returning viewers higher than the new viewers, that will equal growth. Because you have to remember that not everybody subscribes initially. Some people are very skeptical. Their subscription is literally the only power they have over you. And once they give it to you, it's something so they have to feel that you're worthy. So they might not ever subscribe. It might take them months to subscribe. I've had that happen a lot. So I am going to challenge everybody. I want you, if you make content, do me a favor. I want you to go to your dashboard. The way that you find this is you go to your Creator Studio, which is AKA your dashboard. You are going to then click on audience, and then you're going to see what you're working with. And tell me if the returning viewers graph or line, which is the purple line, if it's higher than the teal line, which is the new viewers, has that equaled growth for you? It has for me in multiple occasions, multiple different channels. It's worked for me. So if the biggest content creator on the internet believes in niching down, then maybe you should as well. Now, we'll throw this out there. Pay attention to your numbers. It's okay when somebody says niching down, they're simply talking about a certain type of content. So I would not talk about, and if you know, I would not talk about the Chicago Bears and make Chicago Bears content on my Detroit Lions channel. I would not make Green Bay Packers content on my Detroit Lions channel. I will not make Minnesota Vikings content on my Detroit Lions channel. I'm a Detroit Lions channel. It's okay to talk about them teams to some regard, but it all has to come back to the Detroit Lions. So if you are a vlogger, some of your content will probably pop off more than others. But vlogging is really personality driven, because if you're a vlogger, you can probably put any type of content up and have success, especially if you get going, right? But if you are not, if you're a tech guy, if you're a tech review guy, you probably shouldn't review movies. You might be able to review video games, but what I encourage you to do is content that you yourself watch, that your content might be similar to. Watch what those successful content creators do and try to maybe follow what they're doing. Not to a T. Don't copy. Don't be a carbon copy. Be yourself. But you need to take what works from other creators, make it your own, and that's how you can find success. But what I recommend is starting a YouTube channel based off a passion that you have. What is the strongest thing that you're an advocate for? What do you love more than anything else? It could be your kids. It could be movies. It could be whatever. Start something based off passion, and then the rest will follow. But if the biggest YouTuber in the world believes in niching down, then maybe that tells you about how niching down works. Now, that's only if you want to have moderate success. What I don't want people to get lost with is Don't make this all about money. But if you want to have success, there are things that you need to do. Consider yourself a drop and consider YouTube the ocean. When you first start making content, you are a drop in an ocean. Nobody knows who you are. YouTube doesn't even know that you exist. As you give them information, they then find you an audience based off of the type of content you make. And when you have an audience, how much your audience likes the content you make. And then what they do is they find other people who may like this content. But we'll dive into what really helps that in a future video. But if you want to know more tips and tricks on YouTube, it's over here. Then check out this video right here. I'll see you there.